Welcome back, MMA Al Dente Army. All right. My heart's not in that. I'll never do it again. I'm here to talk to you guys about Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan 2. I'm really looking forward to this fight, and I wasn't really looking forward to it until I rewatched the first fight. But I think there's a lot here. I really think Aljamain can make this a much closer fight than people think. The first fight was kind of, dismissed as one-sided, mainly because of the way it went down, the way it finished, in which Aljamain Sterling took a disqualification victory. It may have looked a little exaggerated, to say the least. And nevertheless, Petr Yan was winning the last half of that fight. First two rounds were first round Aljamain won, I thought. Second round was pretty close. And the third round, there was no question that Yan won. And there was almost no question who was going to win rounds 4 and 5. After rewatching it, I swear, I look at it like Aljo was in that fight. He was really in that fight. It wasn't as bad as I remember. And I made this comment after the fight that I really thought encapsulated what I saw, which was Petr Yan can fight at level 8 intensity for 5 rounds. Aljo started at 10, fell down to 6, fell down to 4, then 3, then 2, then fuck, DQ. And that's what happened. So it's going to be all about Aljo's cardio. I think he knows that coming into this fight. He's got to manage it better. And a lot of that comes with you could say experience, but also just composure. He's got to do whatever, fucking breathing exercises or something. He's got to make serious effort. He's got to make a serious effort to compose himself inside the octagon, because he was throwing way too many strikes in round 1. That's why I gave him round 1. But even before the round was through, I said to myself, this is a winning strategy for this round, but it's a losing strategy for this fight. He's going to lose this fight because of how he's doing in this round. And that's pretty much what happened. He ended up walking away with the belt, the knee, the whole thing, and whatever. But generally, you watched him fall steadily. He fell in, output. And also success, absolutely. And also in strength and cardio. He was ripped down to the mat a lot of times with those foot sweeps, those trips. Anytime they got close, Yan was really controlling them. The output waned over time, although it was still enough to win round 2, I thought. Not that I scored round 2 for him. I actually scored it for Yan, but I said to myself, I could see Aljo getting this. And I looked up the the judges' scorecards, which they did post, and one of the judges did give Aljo round 2. All 3 gave him round 1, but round 1 was just, there was too much nervous energy, It was flying knee and fucking spinning back fist and fucking flying knee and whatever the fuck. And it was exhausting watching it. Yan doesn't go away, and typically Yan's best round is the 5th round. Not that he's better in round 5. He's better in round 1. But his opponent, whoever it is typically worse in round 5 than he is. He's in very good shape. And he's a 5-round fighter, bona fide, even before he came to the UFC. Aljamain Sterling is not. That was his first, definitely not his first 5-rounder, but his first time going over 3 rounds. I know I think he fought Sandhagen in a main event. Whatever, my point is he's trained for 5 rounds, still hasn't been 5 rounds. He's been 3.5 rounds, almost 4 rounds. And, I'm sure there's a lot of questioning yourself as a fighter and whatever. You can prepare for 25 minutes, but to go 25 minutes must be something entirely different. I always say, no matter how good cardio gets with fighters, no matter how good. No, but the new age training, they're underwater training because the red blood cells and whatever the fuck all these cocksuckers are always talking about. It's never going to change the nature of a fight. A guy could get hit in the wrong spot in the body and whatever, and he's got shit cardio for the rest of the day. You know? It's fighting is just whatever. You can't prepare for it, not entirely, but you can prepare for it partially. And that's what they have to do. Aljo's got to manage his energy better. He's got to come into this fight looking to fight 5 rounds. And tactically, I don't know if he's going to be able to do much different. You know, I think Jan shut down a lot of tactics just by being able to defend that takedown. Aljo is a sharp wrestler, but even if he sharpened his wrestling over the last year and went in that direction totally, his striking might suffer and vice versa. I thought going into the first fight, that Aljo would win, and I thought he would win on his feet too. Not finish him, but get the better of him on his feet. I just thought Aljo's an underrated striker. When he first came into the UFC, he was more of a kicker, like an athlete with kicks. And then by the time he was fighting Jimmy Rivera and Pedro Munoz in the year or two before this title fight, I thought he really came into his own, and he's a force on the feet, a force to be reckoned with, both kicks and punches. I had to say that like you didn't know there were kicks and punches. And I forgot about elbows and knees and whatever. He mixes shit up well, but he's, going up against a guy who is very tight defensively. All 5 rounds, Jan's going to be tough to hurt and tough to hit, and Aljo is very good, a very good striker, like I said. He can mix it up well. He'll find that body when it's open. He'll go to the head whenever that's open, which won't be often. But it's going to take a lot of work to beat Petr Yan because he's so good defensively. It just doesn't seem like anybody's going to put him away. Now, Aljo's got incredible submissions, unorthodox submissions. Of course, he's got all the orthodox ones too. But I'm saying he's a particular threat on the ground, submission-wise, I think for even Petr Yan or anybody else. But I see that going away, really. Typically that comes in fights in which he's dominated or hasn't had the chance to dominate, like Corey Sandhagen. It's got to happen early. And, you got to hit that takedown early, too, because Jan's not going to give you his back for no reason. Unless you drop him, of course. But it's really, I still think it's a winnable fight for Aljamain Sterling. I don't think he's going to come in as intense as he did in the first fight. I'd say there's no way he does. And while that might make the first round closer, it's probably going to make the 4th round closer, too. So, I can't say I'll give you a prediction. Maybe I will. But I'll do that later on. If I had to give you one right now, I'd say I'd go with Petr Yan via 3rd round disqualification.